Hello everyone, my name is Hotel Delta and today I wanted to discuss with you guys the possibilities of what the next Call of Duty game could be by Sledgehammer Games. So I just wanted to run through a few ideas. Now because they're so specific, I doubt any of these will actually happen, but I'm going to go over like kind of the arc of what they are, and maybe we might see something similar next year. So the rumor at the moment is that Sledgehammer Games are working on a Vietnam era Call of Duty. Now I really don't think this is the case, but this has come from the fact that before Sledgehammer Games were working on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, they were working on a third-person Vietnam Call of Duty title called Fog of War, which went on hiatus and eventually got cancelled so they could work on Advanced Warfare, and people think they're going to go back to that game and make it in first person and basically make a Vietnam era shooter. Black Ops 1 was based in the Cold War, but a lot of it was Vietnam, and people seem to overlook this, but a lot of the maps and a lot of the campaign and the story was all the Vietnam era because the Cold War spanned into the Vietnam War and the story did as well. So we saw a lot of Vietnam maps, and you'll probably remember some of them like Cracked and Jungle. They were Vietnam maps, and they had the NVA, the North Vietnamese Army, in there, and the SOG. So why that would be explored more, I don't really know, considering the Vietnam era basically had most of what was in Black Ops 1 in terms of weaponry, equipment. They can't really expand on that. I think it would be pretty boring in my opinion. And the other thing you've got to think is the multiplayer maps. If it was Vietnam, they would all look the same. They'd all be jungle maps. It'd be really boring. Like Cranked and Jungle, even though the one's an urban city and one's a jungle, that's about the most variety you're going to get in a Vietnam era shooter. So unfortunately I don't think that's going to be the case, but that is one possibility that we could put on the table, is Call of Duty Fog of War or a Call of Duty Vietnam shooter. What I thought would be more likely would be another Cold War shooter, because I think the Cold War spans more than just the Vietnam era, and it could be explored a little bit more than what was in Black Ops 1 with a new kind of story. Maybe Call of Duty Covert Warfare it could be called, or something like that. So that would explore that era a little bit more, maybe do a different twist on it. I mean, we've seen loads of different variations of modern day shooters, but we haven't seen many Cold War era shooters kind of taking on the same kind of thing. Like with Vietnam, it's a little bit harder to do because it's more specific. It's a smaller war in the grand scheme of things, and it was actually just in one area, as in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. It was like, it wasn't spanning into more like urbanized areas, and it didn't have as much variety of combat. I think it wouldn't bring as much to the table as, say, another Cold War shooter in terms of Call of Duty anyway. Like maybe Battlefield could pull off another Vietnam game. I don't think Call of Duty could do it. Like that's just my personal opinion. Of course we could see Advanced Warfare 2. This is something that I put up quite high in my kind of like likiness list before, but now looking back on it, I kind of think maybe not. I think it may go back to the past, but I think if it does go back to the past, I don't think it'll be a modern day shooter, purely because we've got Modern Warfare Remastered this year, and it doesn't make much sense, to me at least, to make two modern games so close to each other, if you get what I mean. Like if you want a modern day game, you can play Modern Warfare Remastered, and I have no doubt that'll be sold separately, probably during 2017 when Infinite Warfare hype has kind of died down, maybe after the DLC season ends. That's when I think that'll be released separately, and then there'll be no point for Sledgehammer Games to release a modern day shooter. It wouldn't make much sense unless it was Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, which I don't think that'll happen. I think Raven will do that, and it takes about 2 years to do a remaster, so I think 2018 will get Modern Warfare 2 or World War Remastered, one of the two I think, by Raven. But in terms of next year, I don't think Sledgehammer are working on a remaster. I don't think they're working on a modern day game, and I don't think they're working on a Vietnam game. They could be working on a Cold War game. That might be a thing. In terms of World War II, that certainly could happen as well. I think World War II could work, considering we haven't had, you know, World at War Remastered. We haven't had any World at War game with like a supply drop system, or, you know, like a depot, or any of the stuff that the new Call of Duties have, and I think Sledgehammer might push that into a game. Like before, I thought could uplink be done in World War II? I guess I talked about this in a previous video. You know, a lot of things that are like staple now, but uplink isn't in Modern Warfare Remastered, and people still enjoy that game, and it could be still a really good competitive game. I think going back on that, I think World War II could happen. World War I, not so much. I think Battlefield has done that very uniquely. I doubt Sledgehammer Games could pull off the same kind of thing. I'd say World War I could be a possibility, but it's unlikely. I think at the highest kind of likeliness I'm thinking of at the moment is another Cold War era shooter. I think that's what I'm going to go with at the moment, as unlikely as a lot of people might think that is. And in terms of the name, I would say along the lines of maybe Covert Warfare, Covert Ops, something like that. I think the Advanced Warfare branding might go on hiatus, or it might die out, to be honest. I don't think it's going to go much further now, considering it's got the same kind of tarnishment that Ghost had. Not in terms of sales wise, I think Ghost and Advanced Warfare actually sold a lot of copies. I think it's just because of the fan feedback, and believe it or not, they do actually listen to the fan feedback, and I think they don't want to bring in another title like that, because otherwise, if they didn't listen to the fan feedback, we would have got Ghost 2 this year, to be honest. I know a lot of people don't like Infinite Warfare, but to be honest, that was just all to do with the timing of everything, the development cycle. It was just one big mess for Infinity Ward, really, and I think the same thing happened with Ghost. They've been in a really bad situation with their sort of development. I can't really blame them. To be honest, I personally enjoy Infinite Warfare. I'm not sure whether I like it more than Black Ops 3, but I do like both of them games. I think Sledgehammer are not going to go into the future. I think it's probably going to be a pre-modern day shooter. Like, it's not modern day, not future, and I don't think it's going to be this Vietnam thing that everyone's going on about, because I just don't see that happening. There's not enough in that era to justify making a whole game on it. Like, I can't imagine the campaign would be much fun either. Like, the few missions that were set in Vietnam in Black Ops 1 really fun, but dragging that out over a course of a full campaign, I just can't see it working, really. It's just, I don't think there'll be enough variety. It'll literally just be all jungle guerrilla warfare, which might sound cool now, but if you pick up the controller and do that for hours on end, I just can't see it being fun, and I think that would be a fail of a game in my opinion. So that's kind of my like overview of all the different types of things that, like, the directions they could go with this. Like, you could say remaster, modern day, past, future. Like, they're the obvious selections. Like, it could be any of them, but like, if we really whittle it down, I don't think that it's going to go future, for the fact that Advanced Warfare didn't do as well as they wanted it to. Fan feedback as well on all the recent Call of Duty games says no more future. Modern day, because of Modern Warfare Remastered, I don't think that's going to happen. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered or another remaster, I think that's going to be left down to Raven. World War 2 could happen, but again, there's limitations to that. I think Cold War is the best kind of middle ground, and Black Ops 1 did it, but I think it was the right thing to do at the wrong time. Like, I think a Cold War shooter would be better done now than back when it was actually done then. Like, they could have done World War 2 instead of Black Ops 1 or something like that, or had a sequel to World War but called it Black Ops, because to be honest, I think Black Ops was a really good game, and a lot of people would like to see that remastered, and it was the era that was just so unique, and I think if they brought that back and they did that correctly, it could be a really good game. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys, and I'd like to hear what you think the next Call of Duty game would be, and the title. Like, leave some cool creative Call of Duty titles in the comment section below as well, and I'll have a read through them. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Hotel Delta out.